your patience, and I apologize again. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is October 27th. I'm James Vacca, and I'm Chair of the Committee on Technology. And we're here today to discuss the implementation and administration of Local Law 11 of 2012, best known as the Open Data Law. This important law required the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, DoITT, to create a one-stop shop for easily accessible, non-proprietary, and machine-readable government data that can be used and analyzed by the public at large. Since collecting and organizing all of New York City government's open data into a single portal is an enormous undertaking, this law allowed for implementation over several years, requiring full compliance by December 31st, 2018. DoITT released its annual Open Data Plan this past July, which included the release of new data sets and an updated timeline of data releases. The agency has also since made improvements to the site's usability and search feature. Testimony from the Mayor's Office of Data Analytics, MODA, DoITT, and advocates will address this Open Data Plan and ways the portal and its data can be improved in the future. I thank all those for testifying and giving input today. Since the last time this committee examined the implementation of this law, many changes have been enacted. Most recently, the annual New York City Open Data Plan was released on July 15, 2014. As part of this report, 345 data sets were scheduled for release. 160 have been published since the prior plan, and 27 sets were removed from the plan. Among the sets released that are of significant public interest, they include restaurant inspection data, motor vehicle collision data, and prison capacity data. In addition to the additional sets, the site itself has been organized in a more user-friendly format. The search function has improved, and lists of official sets aggregated by agency have been prominently featured on the site. While DoITT has made many improvements and has made great efforts to work with counsel and advocates, there is still much to be done and several issues to identify and address. There are some data sets that were identified in previous plans that were removed from the most recent plan, and some sets were created and included within the last year. To ensure full compliance, this committee hopes to hear the reasoning for the inclusion of some sets and for the exclusion of others. Furthermore, some sets that were supposed to be released already, according to the timeline released in the July plan, have not yet been released. Going forward, it is also important to identify how the administration has prioritized the release of data sets, the information included in those sets, and the prioritization of further data set releases. I also want to ensure that the integrity and accuracy of available data is always paramount. On top of the recent improvements to the user interface, I also hope to learn more about how it may be further improved, taking into consideration suggestions from all types of users. Finally, having used the Open Data Portal myself to identify trends in my own district and throughout the city, to improve constituent services and input that I could give into policy and legislation, I must emphasize the vast possibilities available through this portal. I hope to continue working with the advocates, MODA, and DoITT to ensure that the Open Data Portal is as user-friendly as possible. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Nick O'Brien from the Mayor's Office of Data Analytics, who will be our first witness. I now have to swear you in. This is something new we're doing. I've been swearing at people all my life, but now I'm swearing. Would you introduce yourself, sir? I don't have your name. Mr. O'Brien and Mr.?
Albert Weber.
Mr. Weber. Okay, Mr. Weber, you're from DoITT.
Yes.
Okay, well then let's do it. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this committee, and to respond honestly to council member questions?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Okay, I figured you did. Okay, thank you. Mr. O'Brien, would you please introduce yourself for the record and start with your testimony?
Thank you, Chairman Vacca. Good afternoon. My name is Nicholas O'Brien. I'm the Director of Public Affairs in the Mayor's Office of Data Analytics and the Acting Open Platform Officer for the City of New York. In my role as Open Platform Officer, I am responsible for the implementation of Local Law 11 of 2012, the New York City Open Data Law. Here with me is Albert Weber of the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications Office of Advanced Technologies. The Mayor's Office of Data Analytics is housed within the Mayor's Office of Operations and works with the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, or DoITT, to fulfill the requirements of the Open Data Law. The law has the full support of the administration, and we're working tirelessly to ensure it is fully implemented. The New York City Open Data Law was signed into law on March 7, 2012. The law was a product of a collaborative effort including the city's technology community, the nonprofit sector, the council, city agencies, and the mayor's office. It has served as the basis for a number of other open data and transparency policies and initiatives throughout the country and established New York City as a leader in the field. I'm here today to testify on the progress of implementation of the Open Data Law and highlight some of the successes we've had since the last hearing on this topic in November of 2013. The primary vehicle for delivering data to New Yorkers is the Open Data Portal, accessible at nyc.gov/data. To date, we have released 1,268 unique data sets on the portal, up from 350 in 2011 when the portal was first launched. 99 of those sets have been fully automated, and new automations are coming online every month. In July, we released the 2014 edition of the New York City Open Data Plan, which catalogs 345 unreleased data sets covered under the law and their planned release dates. When combined with the 1,268 already released, we have a total of 1,613 data sets, which comprises the known universe of open data sets maintained by the City of New York. The 2015 edition of the Open Data Plan will be released to the Council on July 15th of 2015. Between now and the release of the 2015 plan, we will publish an additional 100 data sets. In addition to these activities, which are mandated under the law, we are undertaking numerous initiatives beyond what is required by the law to increase transparency and facilitate the use of city data to provide meaningful insight. Just last week, we launched significant enhancements to the search and browse functionality, which Mr. Webb will detail in his testimony. These enhancements were the result of a collaborative process undertaken by the Mayor's Office, DoITT, Open Data Advocates, and the larger civic tech community. In August, the Mayor signed 2 bills into law, Local Law 37 and 38 of 2014, to create a more transparent and effective city government. Local Law 37 requires the Law Department to publish the city charter, the administrative code, and the rules of New York City, of the City of New York online, and update the compilation of laws within 30 days of any change. Local Law 38 requires the city to post, Local Law 38 requires the city to post the city record online within 24 hours of publication. At a public hearing preceding the signing of those bills, the mayor also announced an innovative public-private partnership to transform 4,000 publications of the city record currently stored in PDFs into machine-readable format to ensure they can be used to understand trends and patterns surrounding city operations. In September, the mayor announced the winners of the 5th annual New York City Big Apps competition. This year's competition, hosted by DoITT and the Economic Development Corporation, was designed to use city data to make New York a better place to live, work, play, and learn. The winner of the Live category, HeatSeek, uses 311 data and thermometers placed in tenants' apartments to help ensure that New Yorkers' apartments are kept at or above the minimum temperature during the heating season. Big Apps is also a driving force in creating good technology jobs based on open data. 2 examples, My City Way, which received $6 million in venture capital funding, and Embark NYC, which was acquired by Apple in 2013, are early examples of viable businesses driven by open data. These initiatives are just the latest embodiment of the mayor's longstanding commitment to openness and transparency in government. This administration believes this commitment is essential to create an equitable city and ensuring every New Yorker is well served by its government. With regards to the data itself, we know the city's data is complex, and we provide extensive background information on featured data sets to increase awareness and usability of the most frequently viewed data sets on the portal. We are currently featuring the newly released restaurant inspection data, which has never before been directly available on the portal. We're also using the Open Data Portal to show visualizations built on public data. These visualizations make the information contained in the portal more accessible as New Yorkers seek to understand their city. Our work to improve usability and access to city data includes engaging with agencies on an ongoing basis to enhance the public's ability to access, consume, map, and visualize New York City's geographic data. By leveraging the city's GIS experience, we have enabled users to create different types of maps of more than 165 data sets through the Open Data Portal, including hurricane evacuation zones, Wi-Fi hotspots, Wi-Fi hotspot locations, parks, and building footprints. This map data is not covered in the law, but we feel that is an important component of open data. One of the benefits of open data we are working to quantify is the improvement in fulfilling FOIL requests. Last year, the Environmental Control Board, or ECB, received 2 FOIL requests that they were able to respond to by directing the requesters to the open data portal. This not only makes it easier for agencies to respond to requests, it also provides faster, easier, and cheaper access to the data, potentially reducing the need for the public to submit lengthy FOIL requests to gain access to information. We are also focusing on measuring the economic benefit of open data. We are tracking aggregate usage and have begun to catalog the applications built on top of the data. This is the first step in our effort to rigorously quantify the economic impact of open data. These benefits come in many forms, ranging from improving agency efficiency and cost avoidance to the creation of new jobs and businesses made possible by the release of this data. We are confident that this analysis will demonstrate that the city's investment in open data makes economic sense and look forward to presenting the result of this effort next time we have the opportunity to testify. I'd like to thank the Council Technology Committee for providing me this opportunity to testify today. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Albert Weber from the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications to walk you through some of the finer details of the implementation and the new enhancements we have released in response to feedback from the community. After Mr. Weber's testimony, we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Good afternoon. My name is Albert Weber of the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, DoITT. On behalf of Commissioner Ann Roast, I'd like to thank Chairman Vacca and the members of the City Council Committee on Technology for convening this hearing on the implementation of Local Law 11 of 2012, the Open Data Law. Open data is a major priority for DoITT, and I'm here today to share our progress to date, highlight the recent enhancements we've made to the NYC Open Data Portal, and to discuss our strategic plan going forward. Mr. O'Brien already articulated the de Blasio administration's strong support for government transparency and their efforts to ensure the open data law is implemented fully. DoITT works closely with the Mayor's Office of Data Analytics in the implementation of this law. Local Law 11 of 2012 requires that all public data sets maintained by New York City agencies or departments be made available on the internet through a single web portal. DoITT maintains this portal, NYC Open Data, at nyc.gov/data. We currently have 1,268 unique data sets available via the portal. Each year, all agencies and departments are required to submit an inventory of public data sets that they have not yet made public, along with the dates that they intend to publish them. This inventory is compiled by my office and published as the New York City Open Data Plan. The latest edition of the plan, published on July 15th of this year, includes 345 data sets scheduled for future release. Since July 15th, 60 of the data sets on the plan have come due, and I'm happy to report that we have successfully published 57 of them, or 95%. We are on track to publish an additional 100 before the next edition of the plan, which is scheduled for submission to the Council on July 15th, 2015. As per the law, all public data sets maintained by city agencies and departments must be published by December 31st, 2018, or a reason must be given as to why the data set cannot be released and when it is expected to be released. To enable the Council and the public to track the progress we've made, we included listings of all the data sets we've published since the inaugural release of the plan, as well as any data sets that were removed from the plan and the specific reason why they were removed. For example, being merged with existing data into a combined data set. We also provide a dashboard of available data sets, which is updated monthly and provides a concise listing of data sets currently available on the portal and those scheduled for future release. I would now like to turn to some of the enhancements we've made to the portal. These improvements were made in response to feedback from users of the portal and were developed in close collaboration with the open data community. The portal has been improved to enhance search functionality. Initially, the portal relied on industry-standard technology, but it was unfortunately not sufficient to navigate the thousands of official city data sets and community-generated views available on the portal. Working with the open data community and our technology vendor, we were able to refine the search function to provide much more relevant results. Referring to the slide behind me, for example, if you were to search 311, which is one of our most popular data sets using the old search technology, 311 would come back as the on the ninth page as the 214th data set available. A user would then have to click through the pages of community-generated views to find the actual data set. With the new technology just released last week, a search for 311 now yields the entire 311 service request data set as a top result.